Alright, so if this gets posted, then we didn't get blown away. But it's really fucking windy. It's like tornado watches on. We're out here getting this in for Headbanger. They're hooking us up, getting to this stuff early, so we can get reviews on it for you guys. What we got is the 2025 DeMarini Vanilla Gorilla and the Twisted Mistress. Jason Magnum, Jeremy Yates, 12-inch inload, 13-inch inload. Both of these are APC composites, so we expect them to break in pretty quick. Here they are on the compression tester. Pretty excited to hit these things. They're both 26. This is a 26 and a 26.5. We're just going to throw the kitchen sink at them here and hit the hard stuff with them and have a little fun. Let's see what we get. Yeah. And here, the wrapper on camera. We're gonna do it with the gloves on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. First try, maybe. Not bad. So always giving credit where it's due here. We owe a big thanks to the folks over at Headbanger Sports and DeMarini for getting these to us so we could get this review out for you guys. As of this video dropping, these bats are available for purchase. You can reach out to me and I can get you set up with one, or you can also use code BPHero at checkout at headbangersports.com and save yourself some money that way too. And sorry boys, wind gusting in from right field is not an option at this time at checkout. The fences here are basically 290 all the way around, and it's actually about an 80-degree day. Perfect day to hit if it wasn't for the 20-mile-an-hour breeze blasting us from right field most of the time we were out here. We're hitting a mix of Evil BP Rockets, Deadly Thunder ZN Pro-Ms, and some NSA 44 400s as well. The occasional 52 did get snuck in there just for the sake of fulfilling someone's curiosity. The bat is a 26.5 and is presumed to have a ½ ounce of inload. We did feel like this Twisted Mistress swung a little bit light, and the inload wasn't all that noticeable, honestly. You still got the performance like an inload with the drive behind the ball, but with it not being super noticeable, it was really easy to control, almost like a balance bat. Like it almost gave me, if you want to compare bats, it almost gave me like Iron Man vibes. It hits well, it hits like there's a ton of ass behind it, but you can control it and do basically anything you want with it. It was an interesting vibe for sure. And then combine that loading with the 13-inch APC composite barrel. That did start out a little bit tight, which we did expect, but it took like literally 20 swings to get loosened up to convince me that this thing was going to be a pretty decent performer. It's kind of interesting to me how they've tuned this APC composite to be really stiff off the rip, but then loosen up and feel well after not very many swings. And speaking of that barrel, let's head over and check out the compression testing and get some close-ups here, and then we'll kind of give you a rundown on what we thought of this thing. So on the compression tester, when this thing was brand new in the wrapper, it was coming in at basically 290, which is something that we're used to seeing with the APC stuff. Like I said, it starts pretty high. And then after about the 80-ish swings we got on it, didn't get a ton. It was about 270 or so. Again, like what we're used to seeing, performing well. And getting an up-close look with this thing here, I missed a huge dirt spot right there on the taper, so sorry for that. But outside of that, this thing looked really good. It looked like the paint on it was something like you pop the lid off of a can of paint, and that's what it looked like. It was super deep, super metallic looking, super shiny. It looked really good. And real quick, I do want to mention this is approved for NSA, ISA, and USSSA play. As we get a look down the other side of the barrel here, we'll see those stamps here in just a second. This color combo may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I didn't mind it. So wrapping this Twisted Mistress up with some final thoughts on this thing, and I will say that I did enjoy this bat, and Brian and I both agree that it was something that is going to suit a lot of people. The 13-inch barrel is super easy to hit. It broke in pretty quick, get some pretty decent performance out of this thing pretty early on, and the fact that you were able to control it, do basically whatever you wanted with it, which is a compliment of the barrel being forgiving. And as long as you don't break your neck on your swing like I almost did there when my foot slipped, you're going to hit the ball pretty well with this thing more times than not. I will say that I am familiar enough with some of these bats that we kind of know what we're getting going into it, but this one did surprise me a little bit. It does seem a little bit more lively out of the wrapper. In loading, while maybe not ideal, it was still something that, like I said, it almost swung like an Iron Man Genesis. We all know how I like that thing. The ability to drive a ball and still be able to put it wherever you want it. I feel like DeMarini did a really good job with this thing, whether it's from the performance, whether it's the control aspect, whether it's the forgiveness aspect. we thought this thing was pretty good, and we are going to swing these a little bit more just to get some more content out on them on a day that's not so bad to watch. But there is some extra clips of this at the end of the video you will find after we do the Vanilla Gorilla review, so stay tuned for that if you're interested in some more swings of this thing, and we will have some more content on it coming soon. Let's get into the Vanilla Gorilla though. I got the first one off with the gloves on, so now I got to do the other one with the gloves on. Uh-oh. Okay. Ooh, baby, let's go. 10 out of 10. Okay, so I do believe I said in the intro that this was a 12-inch barrel, and it is in fact a 12.5-inch barrel. But this is a big thing for DeMarini because this is the first Vanilla Gorilla that's featured the APC composite barrel. The composite they've used on this in the past was okay, but it just never really broke in and got as good as we felt like the APC did. But the fact that they've used the APC on this, I could pretty much tell right away that this thing was going to be pretty good once it got broke in. The shorter barrel is going to be something that's going to be a little less forgiving than, say, the Twisted Mistress, and it's felt like it was going to take a little bit more of a break-in process, but we could tell right away that this thing was going to respond really well to the swings we were going to put on it. But probably the big thing that we had to complain about with it was the weight itself. We primarily swing 27s, but when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. We got a 26, we're going to make a review. Just know that, personally, if you don't like something that's super flicky and easy to sling around, you're going to want to go up an ounce in this thing. And that's on all counts, not just the inload, because we did feel like the inload in it was a little bit light as well. But as you can see by Brian here hitting this thing, it's pretty easy to stick a ball pretty well. As long as you get the barrel behind it and get the drive behind it, it's going to go places. So new in the wrapper, as you saw from the intro, this thing is testing 275 basically, and after the 80-ish swings we put on it, it's testing 275. We did feel like this tighter barrel was going to be a little bit harder to break in, and that was all the proof we needed. And listen, Brian wasn't necessarily a fan of the graphics on this thing, but I think they look sick. Gold is one of my favorite colors when it's done right, and this white and gold combo on this thing absolutely pops. And the same thing with the Twisted Mistress. The amount of like metal flake and detail and the gloss of this thing, these things, I thought they looked sick. This thing looked really good. It's approved for USSSA, NSA, and ISA plays. You saw by the stamps there. The 12.5-inch APC composite bat looks good in my opinion. Sorry, Brian. All right, so closing out with some final thoughts on this bat, and this was a bit of an interesting take here. I really liked the barrel of this. I like the feedback. I like how it felt. Yes, it was a little bit tighter to break in, but I prefer short barrels when it comes to most bats. So I did enjoy this barrel, but our main complaint with it was how light it swung. I got lazy hands. I got slow hands. Just my hands are not ideal. So when it comes to a bat that I've really got to work on getting around, I'm just not going to do great with it. I started out okay, and as long as I timed it up right, I still hit some balls pretty well with it. And that's what told me it was just not agreeing with me, is you could hit the right spot of the barrel of this thing, and the ball would just absolutely roar off of it. It was just a matter of the weight not matching up with my swing. And Brian did also mention that he wasn't a huge fan of how light it swung as well. So that's probably the only nitpick we had with this thing, because otherwise I felt like both of these bats are pretty good. They're great performers. The APC composite has traditionally been really good composite for DeMarini. So you're definitely going to want to go up an ounce in one of these things if you're interested in trying one out. Same deal as the Twisted Mistress. You can use code BPHero at headbangersports.com to get yourself one. I hope you enjoy the double whammy reviews here. Remember, these things came out today, so head over to Headbangers and get yourself one. Huge shout out to headbangersports.com for making this possible, as well as DeMarini for making sure we got these things. Stick around for the extras if you want to see some more swings from each one of these bats. Swing hard in case you hit it. BP Hero, catch you next time.
tried to catch bottom half of that one.
That's still hoping. That's just too easy. Okay. Oh yeah! Yeah.
Like for a 52, that felt nice.
Yeah. Okay. Barrel's good.
I'm telling you, bro.
Oh my god.
You can just.
I'm good.
God, the top hand's strong.